90.3 FM.
Baby, I never knew you'd be the keeper of my heart. I never dreamed you'd come so strong. My heart bleeds for you, and I can't help what I do. I guess I always knew you would come. Oh, I waited all of my life, all of this time. Baby, I always prayed you would come my way. Oh, I've always prayed you would come my way, come my way, come my way. Oh, I feared you'd pull back. It scares you to follow through, 'cause when you're looking at me, you're looking at you. Baby, put your trust in me, and I'll show you the way home. Together you and I will no longer roam. No, baby, I waited all of my life, all of this time. I guess I always prayed you would come
listening to KAOS Radio, and that's Come My Way by Star Nayea. And Star's on the line. How are you this evening?
I'm good, Raven. How are you?
Good, good. Yeah, and I like that song. And so I'm going to talk a little bit about that song, but also that you're coming to the Evergreen State College at Evergreen on March 9th, 2013 from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. And we could talk about that workshop and what it's addressing and whatever's on your heart.
Oh, wonderful. Well, first of all, let me just tell you and say it's an honor. Thanks so much for having me. And, I wouldn't be coming to the Evergreen State College Longhouse if it wasn't for M.I.S.U, which stands for Masters of Public Administration Indigenous Student Union. So this is the group that I'm just extremely honored to be presenting to, and they're bringing me in. And so this is going to be a great day. It's going to start kind of early on that Saturday. We're going to probably begin about noon. And the workshops, I believe, they go till about 4, and then we're going to take a little bit of a dinner break, and then we're going to start it back up at 8 o'clock and do live concerts. And, I was speaking to Olivia Hart, who, without her and Dawn and so many of the people that worked hard to make this happen, this wouldn't be happening. And so she was going to try to be there for the interview today, but I think that she's at home. But we were talking about how we really, I just kind of have a middle name of I don't know more. I'm not a founder. I'm not a person within the organization. I'm just a supporter of I don't know more like everybody else. But I've taken out a little pseudo middle name, and I really support the movement. And like all of us, we're trying to put our ears and eyes, to what needs paying attention to out there. And this is a huge movement. So I thought, wow, I wonder if maybe we can extend it to some drums and some people coming on down, and we could also talk about that. If maybe do a flash mob. Just I talked to Olivia about it, and she said, well, why not? Why don't we make it from 8 to 10? It's going to be open, and people can bring their drums, and we can do a flash mob. We can talk about I don't know more. But the workshops during the afternoon from 12 to noon are going to be about some things that are very near and dear to my heart in terms of my advocating for these things, and that's for the Indian Child Welfare Act and also the Violence Against Women Act. And again, I'm not a huge part of, VAWA. I'm just a supporter because I am a survivor of domestic violence, and so therefore any one of us who are survivors, we should, adamantly support VAWA. So I'm an adamant supporter of it, and it finally passed, and so there's something to talk about there. The Indian Child Welfare Act remains to be work in progress, though, so there's much to talk about there. And ultimately, I've got a great, music program that is in its 10th year. It's called The Healing Power of Music. It's been going for a decade, and then I'm also kicking off a national spring tour. It's called Spring into Wellness, and so I'm going to be touring with quite a few really great, sober, teaching music artists, entertainers, comedians. So there's a few things to talk about and to discuss, and we could even get into that here if we want to.
Yeah, I was listening last night when you were talking to G-Dub, and you were talking about being an adoptee, and I'm working with a lot of my friends here, with a lot of the people that have been taken from their homes, and when they go back, they want to go home. They want to go home, and when they eventually find that, that path back, we were talking to a friend of mine, and we were talking about how, the warriors go out, and they always have warrior songs that come back, bring them back into the fold, and there should be the same thing for, folks that have been taken from their home, and as they come back into the circle, to have that song and those prayers, and to re-enter the circle, just like a warrior, because it's a major life deal for the whoever the man or the woman, because usually the adults, they find out that they were adopted out. So I just wondered if you wanted just to touch base a little bit about that, and how music has helped.
Well, first of all, I think it's vital to recognize that home is where you make it. I've yet to find my home, and so I just really concentrate on being well inside and being okay with myself, and knowing that home is going to be where I lay my head at night, and my heart needs to be okay with that until I find my homelands, until I find my blood. But there are many communities out there, just so you know, so this might make you feel a lot better. There are many communities that do that healing circle type of thing, and it predominantly happens in Canada, though, because the majority of us were taken from there. The majority of us were unbelievably shipped down over the border. To this day, we don't know why, but that's from my point of view, and every adoptee that I've ever met was from Canada. Buffy St. Marie, kind of being our point of start. She kind of was in the I think the 50s. She was adopted out in the early 50s, or I'm not really sure as to what her age is. So, but she's kind of the matriarch of it all, and she was from Saskatchewan, and she got dropped down into Boston, Massachusetts, and raised, in the United States like I was raised in Detroit. I think it's vital that every community that comes across one of us lost ones, the ones that got taken away unwillingly, and the parents didn't necessarily always say, "Oh, sure, take our kid." Chances are, 9 out of 10 times, those kids were ripped from their parents' arms, and I really don't think that they were, given, willingly. So it should be known, to anybody within the sound of my voice who had that experience. It should be known, it should be understood that it wasn't a situation of abandonment. I highly doubt that, that people's mothers and fathers said, "Oh yes, take this child. I don't want this child anymore." A lot of times what I found out through, decades of studying this is that these children were removed against their will. They were removed in inhumane situations. They were removed. The stories are far and wide as to how these children were removed from the birth family, from the reservation. I mean, myself, without getting into great detail because I don't want to give any away for our workshops on Saturday, but myself, my mother and my father, they didn't want to give me away. They didn't want anybody taking me away. And I'm going to reveal my journey this Saturday on March 9th. I have an incredible journey. I have an incredible story. And if I guess if I share mine, it'll prompt more people to understand theirs and to share theirs. But 100% music is a healing entity. There's just no, there's no other way. And for us to welcome all of our warriors and our female and male warriors home with a ceremony or with an honor song or with these things, this does happen. But there's two sides to it. Also, you have to understand that there's a lot of historical trauma there. So there may be a great ceremony, and they may be welcomed back, Raven, and everything may be wonderful and for that moment and for that day, but that's not the end of it. The healing and everything that comes with it is going to be a continuum, because it's not going to be the be-all, end-all, and all dreams come true and happily ever after. Because there's a statistics and there's a percentage of adoptees that it doesn't go well for, and after the initial union happens, all hell breaks loose. And so there is other things and other issues that need to be addressed and need to be talked about. And for those people who are searching for home, they honestly need to be prepped. It's not, it is my dream to one day find home and find my family and walk into my community and be welcomed just as you described. It's my dream. But I've prepared myself for reality in one that may never happen. I may never find home. It was taught to me and told to me 15, 16 years ago that I may never find home. because it was so vast and it was so deep, and they buried the evidence of who we are and where we came from. They buried it really, really well. And so I prepared myself a long time ago that it will never be revealed through paper, that, they made sure that we didn't exist for a reason. And if I was to ever find home, I also prepared myself for where I came from. What would the dynamics be? What would the, I don't know how to explain it. What, if I were to meet my mother and father, what if they were, addicted to this or this, and how would I feel about that? And what would that affect my decision on, there's so many variables. I mean, I could go on and on, but it would take more of the show than we have time for right now. And so that's what the Saturday's about. And I've got all kinds of answers if people have questions.
Yeah, and as you're talking and sharing, I'm thinking that like what for me is I would like to see it safe for people to be able to come into that circle and share, and as so many that I've heard like you just mentioned, like they come into that circle and sometimes it's hard for them to share because they don't feel safe. Mm-hmm. And so I think that's an important part of making it safe for folks to be able to share once they do come into that circle. I think that's important, and that's where music comes into play. Singing songs and honoring, and so that's what I'd like to see for all folks that are seeking what they're seeking when it comes time to find that path. But I do agree with you. Home is where you put your head down at night, and that's for all of us. And wherever we are, I feel that it's important for us to know the bones that we're stepping on and walk in a sacred way here, as the ancestors would. So I want to talk a little bit more about what the days what the day will look like at Evergreen for people that come. You said that there's stories of survival, healing, and triumph through music. So they would come at 8 p.m. to 10. So they at the Evergreen State College Longhouse.
Well, I was told to tell people this. Olivia told me to say there is a sign-up sheet for workshops during the day. Now, this is pretty important, although it's mainly for M.I.S.U, for their program, for their student union. It is open to people that want to come for these workshops. And if they want to get on the sign-up sheet, they just have to, and I'll give you the email if I can do that. Is that something I could do now? Or
absolutely, if you like.
Okay, so the email, all you got to do is just email M.I.S.U, M.I.S.U, the number 4, and then star, my name, S-T-A-R, just one R. So that's M.I.S.U 4 star at Gmail. And if you email them, I guess they'll go ahead and make a list of everybody who's emailing in. And, there's several different workshops that I'm going to be doing, but, it's going to be stemming from the healing power of music. And we're going to get into, the adoptees. We can get into, the healing power of music is says it all. It's something that I've been doing for over a decade now. And so my workshops are very in-depth. They're fun. They're interactive. And I want it to be a really open flow. It's not going to be like 100% structured in terms of do as I say. It's really going to be open. And, I'm just extremely honored to come and spend time with everybody and lend a little bit of what I've been doing for all of these years. And I would expect everybody to also share and teach me perhaps as well. So it's really going to be an open situation, I think. But the music part of it, we're going to have a really wonderful gentleman who approached me. Let me get his name up really quick. There's a wonderful gentleman by the name of Paul who approached me and asked if he could do a flute song. And I was pretty excited about that.
Paul Wagner?
Yeah, exactly.
Paul
Wagner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. So he's going to open it up, and I'm sure he'll be there. And, for anybody, again, who can hear my voice, I kind of want to also, and I talked to Olivia about it, and we just kind of want to open it up. We want it to maybe, be open for all the drums to come on in. And, this is from 8 to 10. Come on in and join us. And I'm going to go ahead and sing some of my songs, and I've got some great songs to share. But when that's done, it's done. And why don't, my concert anyway, my part of it, it doesn't have to end there. I think that we should all go into, into that flash mob that I was talking about. I mean, I've gone to a couple flash mobs, but now maybe we can make one of our own. And, it really is, I don't know, More's got some movement. We've got some things happening there. And I have been kind of out of the loop, but there's brand new topics. There's brand new things to talk about. So if people are still open to that, if they want to come and bring their drums, or if they just want to come and offer a blessing song or whatever, I'm always completely blown away when I can stand and listen to all of it, because it's everything that I was never brought up around, and it makes me nervous sometimes, but it also soothes my soul to listen to everyone singing and drumming and sharing that beautiful culture that I was ripped away from. So it would be a gift and an honor and a privilege to be standing there and listening to anybody who wants to bring their drum and sing in some groups. So, again, if you're in the sound, if you can hear the sound of my voice and you don't have anything to do this coming Saturday, March 9th, from 8 to 10, come on down. I will sing for you, and then maybe y'all can sing for me.
Sounds great. And, again, that's at the Evergreen State College Longhouse this Saturday, March 9th. From 8 to 10 p.m. And it's sponsored by M.I.S.U, Masters of Public Administration Indigenous Student Union. And Star will be there, and you can please sign up, because it says here limited space. And so M.I.S.U 4, the numeral 4, star, STAR, at gmail.com for more information. And we got a couple minutes to just to tell folks how they can get a hold of you and your music, and where they can find your music. And, yeah.
Well, everybody finds me on Facebook, and I know that's crazy, but also that Reverb Nation that you found my music at just today, everybody finds me there. So it's just that Reverb, which is REVERB, so Reverb, just how it sounds, nation.com, and then that / and then STAR, star, and then my last name, Nayea, N like in Nancy, AYEA. So it's, reverbnation.com / star Nayea. And that's my music link right now. I have a couple of offers of people wanting to put a website up for me, and I'm just kind of deciphering, who and what and where. People find me on Facebook. They find me there. They find me Reverb Nation. And apparently I've also got PayPal. So if people want to buy a CD from me, if they come this Saturday, I guess I was told I can have my CDs for sale this Saturday as well. So I'll come with a big stack of my songs. And then people just approach me on that whole what is that called? That PayPal thing. People buy my CDs there, and and then we'll be going on tour too. So we'll be doing we'll be shaking hands and meeting people and singing songs and telling stories and laughing all over the nation. So my 7th annual Spring into Wellness. I'm trying to recruit Vaughn Eaglebear. I've got Chance Lee Rush hitting some spots with me. I've got Superman hitting some spots with me. So, we're just pedaling and moving and shaking and grooving and trying to spread the wellness and, sobriety and, trying to really make a difference for our 7th generation.
All right. So I appreciate you taking time with us this evening to share. And please keep in touch with us. And we'll hopefully when you get back this way, we can have you into the actual studio.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm coming down next Friday, eh? So.
Yeah. So we'll see you. We'll see you. It's probably on Friday and
Saturday.
Yeah.
You're gonna come, right, Raven?
I'm gonna try with my kids.
What do you mean try?
Oh well,
You're gonna be there.
Yeah. So.
Hey.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right then.
Thanks.
Thanks so much for your time.
Yeah. Thank you for yours, and we'll talk soon.
Okay. Bye bye.
Right, bye bye. And this is Make No Bones About It. This is Raven Redbone. And yes, I will try. But Saturday's a long day for us for Cenas. So I've got to do station identification and play one song on the way out. And we'll talk to you next week. Thanks for tuning in.